What's going on, boys? It's your boy First-in-Law back again with another Madden video. And today I want to talk about how to win more games in Madden 26 or just in Madden in general. So there's a few key concepts that most winning players do in Madden, and I don't think it gets talked about enough. So I kind of wanted to make a video just kind of covering that topic and going from there. I'm just going to cover what I do to win games. Again, I'm not the best Madden player in the world, but I definitely win a lot more than I lose. And my record right now in ranked, I think, is 190 and 36. So I have a lot more wins than I do losses, but I do still lose it in games sometimes. But every time I lose, I know why. And I just want to go over some things that winning players do when they do win games. So first, we're going to set up our audibles. You should always be setting up your audibles if you want your fastest and best players at certain positions. And yeah, here we go. So first possession, the thing winning players do during the first possession, I think, is just try to make sure to not give up anything deep. What we're thinking about here during the first possession of any game is we're just trying to figure out how our opponent likes to play. And then we're going to kind of adjust from there. Sure, I'm still going to try to switch stick him and get a little sticky. But at the same time, I'm just trying to figure out how he likes to play. He just rolled out there. So there, for example, right? I just played against somebody rolling out with Lamar Jackson. So now I might adjust sooner rather than later. And just throw a contain on the right side of the field so he can't do that. So, I'm just going to figure out how he likes to play in this first possession, though. And that's really how we always try to take our games. So he's just running the ball a lot on first down. Not doing anything too crazy. He might be in code suggestions. He's just calling a bunch of random formations. That's something also players who win a lot know right away, is if somebody's just calling plays super fast and super randomly, that usually means they're in code suggestions. So you kind of just want like a good base coverage shell to play against that. What I use is just cover 4. So 2nd and 18, trips tight end offset. He rolled out with Lamar last time, so we're going to cross man everyone on the right, and we're going to contain as well. And that's great defense there. He didn't have anything open. 3rd and 29. It looked like he was just trying to throw a bomb against us. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to do something like this, actually. I'm still going to contain. I have the tight end. I'm just waiting for him to QB playmaker up. He doesn't. And that's 4th and 29. What a lot of players do on 4th and 29 or 4th downs in general is they always set their zone drops to where the first down marker is. So I like doing that in case they try to run like a deep dig or a deep crosser. I also like setting my safety depth to default. Something I don't do a lot, but I'm trying to train myself to do, just so they start way farther back than normal. So this is just verticals. I got to cover the middle guy. That was a little scary just because I was one-on-one with the vertical guy, but as you could see there, we didn't do anything crazy on defense. We're just playing smart, fundamental defense. We noticed he liked to roll out once or twice, and then he ends the game. So, I mean, that's how we're going to win the first game, but let's go ahead and hop into a second one. All right, boys, here's our second game. This guy, I think, is a bit of a sweat. He's also in the top 100, so this might be a better game for us. But same principles apply. We're going to treat every game the same, and that's another key tip to win more Madden games, boys, is you need to treat every game the same. Whether your opponent is really good at the game or not so good, it really doesn't matter. Because you just need to play your game and treat every game the same, meaning no matter how good or bad your opponent is, you're just going to play the way you like to play, and that's what we're going to stick to. So be sure to definitely do that. I'm pretty sure this guy's pretty good, so we're going to have to get started here. But again, we're just going to kind of make him work on the first drive. You always want to have like a game plan going into these games. And also have like an identity, right? If you're a blitzer or if you're like super aggressive on defense, you need to have some kind of identity. For me, I'm more of a try to figure you out as the game goes on. and not give up anything deep right away and then go from there. He just threw a pick first play, but that's okay. We saw that crossing route. He's switching to gun bunch tight end, or bunch X nasty. So here I'm just trying to read routes, trying to see what kind of combos he might call. He throws an incomplete pass there, which is good for us. He seems a little flustered. He's running gun bunch on short side. Now he switched to trips tight end. So here I always have a plan for trips. I always cross man at first play. Something like this, just to see how they react and then kind of go from there. He blocks halfback. And he ends up throwing 3 incompletions on his first 3 plays. So now he's probably getting a little nervous. I am going to set my zone drops to 10 just because the first yard marker's at 10. I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm not going to change anything. I'm pass committing here. And that's really good defense by us. So we actually get off the field on our first defensive drive, force our opponent to a 3 and out. And winning players, or in order to win more games, are always just trying to get that one stop, right? Most players feel like, or decent players feel like, if they can get just that one stop, and if they trust their offense enough, they pretty much won the game. So how I'm feeling with that one stop, I feel like I just won the game with that stop, if I'm being honest. He's playing the RPO. We're not going to do anything too crazy. Another important thing, and another thing winning players do, is they take care of the football. This is something I struggle with personally, is turning the ball over. And you just got to do a good job of not forcing things, not forcing balls, and just making good reads. That's something I've been working on and have been continuing to work on. And we kind of get cheated there. It looked like we got our feet in, but game's going to say we didn't, so it's fine. But now, 3rd and 12. We already got to stop. Even if we get a field goal here, it's not the end of the world. Of course, we'd like to get 7. But we're always thinking about what we should be doing in certain situations like this. I think he's stunting me, so I'm going to go empty blocking. He also played pretty good defense. I'm going to set up my stream, actually. I don't have instant replay set up. And we're going to go ahead and just take our 3 here. So don't be afraid to take your 3, especially when you get a stop, because you're still going to be up a full possession. And honestly, taking 3 there is not the end of the world, like I said, because we already got a stop and held him to 0 points. That's huge for us. And now I'm just pulling up my stream kind of so I can see what he's doing on instant replay, just because I wasn't really paying attention there. But good defense by him. Even though I did think we got that corner route in bounds there, it's kind of unfortunate we didn't, but what can you do? So kickoffs are another huge thing. You don't want to give up anything easy on kickoffs. And really, what we're just trying to do on defense, because defense is really difficult to play at this moment in time, is you're just trying to force your opponent to work, right? Make them take check downs, make them work for every yard they got, and never make them feel safe. So what I mean is, don't be afraid to switch stick something. Don't be afraid to be a little bit aggressive on defense. That was good by him. So he assumed I was going to switch stick on that crosser, which was really smart by him. And then he just ends up throwing the streak. So that was a good play. But I'm not, like I said, I wasn't worried about switch sticking too aggressively there, because we do already have a stop on him. So now we just need to make sure we score on our remaining drives. Another thing winning players do, boys, is they always have a strategy and always try to come out in something that's going to be hard to adjust for. So that's why a lot of people just come out and bunch X and nasty, because you could do so many different combos and different things out of it. And it's kind of really hard to adjust for because there's not really any tells of what you're running, right? That was a good tackle by him. I should have just ran up the gap. So we're just trying to get a feel for him and how he's liking to play defense. It looks like he's calling a lot of cover 4. We're realizing. And he's also trying to switch stick pretty aggressively as well. So another thing winning players do is they know how to beat pretty much every defense. So cover 4, what's good against cover 4 are corner routes, because the quarters don't do a good job of containing the corner routes. Another thing that's good against cover 4 is like comeback routes or small out routes. You just need to know how to beat pretty much every defense, or at least have something to go to for certain defenses. So that's unfortunate there. We actually got user stripped, fumbled. And we're on conservative, so kind of got lucky there, but we'll take it. So you need to have an answer for every defense, especially every defense that you might see a lot of. And cover 4 is what you see a lot of right now. So you just need to be ready to have an answer for it and just have something to go to on offense. And where cover 4 struggles is definitely in the middle of the field. Both like short middle and deep middle. So that's kind of what we're trying to attack here, because we know he's just doing a lot of cover 4 and trying to switch stick out of it. So us knowing that, we're just trying to attack what he is giving us. And another thing good players do, and another thing winning players do, is they take what the defense gives them, boys. You don't have to try to force anything. You don't have to try to get a deep play every single play. Literally taking drags and short routes is what most good players do, because that's usually what's open, and you're just going to take what the defense gives you. So we're going to try this play here. A really good cover 4 beater there. So he's trying to play outside that bubble screen, because he knows if you put someone outside the blockers, it's supposed to play it. So he definitely knows what he's doing. So another thing you need to do is to address what kind of player you're playing against. If you're playing against somebody who's not really familiar with the meta or familiar with the game, then you could kind of abuse that. But if they are familiar with it, that's an unfortunate pass there. But if they are familiar with it, then you kind of have to adjust your game to make sure you're playing against somebody who understands the game. So you just need to make sure you're calling things that make sense against that certain player. So we're just attacking the seams on cover 4. Those short seam routes are really good against cover 4. Again, just taking what the defense gives us, not forcing anything too crazy. Inside the 5 here, I really try to run the ball just to make life so much easier on us. Hopefully he plays RPO a little aggressively, which it looks like he does, and he's just going to give us an easy score. So now we're always thinking about time and score as well. So 2 minutes and 44 seconds left. We're up 3. You also want to have like a goal during each part of the game, right? So my goal here is to definitely not let him score a touchdown. And my goal here is to force either him getting 3 points or us getting the ball back. So you need to have like a strategy on defense and something you're working towards, and be ready to do that as the game goes on. See, that was pretty bad kickoff defense there. Unfortunate for us. He's already in field goal range. So now that he's already in field goal range, we're just worried about getting the ball back and trying to score ourselves. He's covering, or he's calling this doubles flex Y off close. He's done this a few times where he's waiting for me to switch stick up top. So let's see if he does that again. And he just ends up running the ball. When you do that, what I'm thinking about if he runs the ball first play there is that he's already thinking conservatively and he's already trying to milk the clock, right? Which means we can play pretty aggressive and try to force him to take over the top passes rather than anything underneath, because he doesn't want me to get the ball back. So we're just going to go ahead and burn our timeouts now just because we can. You definitely ever want to finish the half with timeouts if you don't have to. You might as well just use them because you can't take them into the second half. So and he's just calling curl routes. Just fine by us. So we have one more timeout left. It doesn't look like we're probably going to get the ball back. What we could do here is honestly just play super aggressive to try to force him into either a mistake or scoring a touchdown right away. Because really our goal here is honestly just to try to get the ball back. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to switch my defense to double mug because I'm either playing you score a touchdown defense or I get a stop defense. There's really no in between here. So I'm literally just double mucking, shading down, blitzing everyone. I'm going to burn the timeout as early on as I can. You never want to save your timeouts, like I said before. You just want to burn those puppies because you're not going to be able to take them with you. Here he might think we're blitzing everyone again. So I'm actually going to try to bait that. And I'm actually going to pass commit here. And that's kind of what we wanted, right? Like we said, we're either playing I get a stop defense or you score a touchdown because we're really trying to end the half with the ball. So even though I thought maybe I could have caught up to that with Travis Hunter, 97 speed, didn't end up going in our favor, which is fine because what we're trying to do, and this is what all winning players try to do, is you're always trying to end the half with a touchdown and end the game with a touchdown. If you can end both the half and the game with either the ball and score, typically what you want is a touchdown. But if you could always end the half and the game with the ball and score, you're going to win most games. So that's why we kind of play defense like that, and that was the strategy behind that. Now we don't have any timeouts right now, but we do have 100 or a minute and 47 to score a touchdown. So he's just trying to go cover 4, switch stick heavy, which is fine by us. We just got to be ready to play against his switch stick. We're going to go ahead and go no huddle here. He's just cover 4 shaded down, nothing crazy. I missed a read. I was looking for the corner route early on. It looked like he was going to switch stick over there. And I probably could have just hit my running back Texas route, which was wide open. I tried to, but it didn't end up working in our favor. Here on 4th and 1s, what I typically do is I don't really look short, just because I feel like my opponents are probably going to be playing pretty aggressive on short route passes. So I'm actually going to put a corner route and a zig. And I'm probably going to hit this corner. So as you can see there, he had a lot of short route passes covered. And he was just trying to switch stick and play aggressive. So we knew that. And that's what another thing that good players do is just knowing kind of what your opponent's mind frame is during certain situations and then trying to exploit that. So because I knew he was going to play something short, I really wasn't looking short. I was looking for something long. Again, we're just attacking the soft parts of cover 4. He ends up burning a timeout there. So he's going to try to get the ball back. But Soft parts of cover 4 are going to be those short seams and then the deep middle, or not the deep middle, but like the medium middle. That's where I like to attack cover 4 at. He's going to overplay the RPO. Let's see if he plays it over there with his user. He doesn't. And he's doing a good job of moving that guy out just enough to where he can't get blocked. But I definitely don't want to make him think I'm not willing to throw it still. So I just want to make sure he respects it. Anytime now I go back to bunch tight end, he's going to have to respect it. So we're going to call something like this. We get shedded. We had the crosser wide open, but just got insta shedded, which happens. I mean, some things you kind of just got to live with in this game. Something I don't really do enough is hit this deep dig in route. So I'm going to try that. And he's going to have to go and cover that corner. We'll try something like this. So we're just trying to get into scoring range here. And we're also thinking about we need him to burn all of his timeouts. And we're also thinking he cannot get the ball back. We've done a pretty good job of just getting to this point. So we're not even going to try to score here. The main thing is we're just going to take his timeout and probably not even score the next play either. But we just kind of have to be careful because we don't have any timeouts ourselves. So time management is a huge thing in order to win games. You have to become a really good time management person if you want to win more games. That's going to be another key thing, boys. So he's just going to blitz everyone. So 9 seconds left. Here we're going to have to probably pass the ball because we can't really run and expect to run another play. That was a really bad pass. Dang, I really just forced it. Okay, just trying to get a tackle. Yeah, that was a good defense by him. I was honestly just forcing it there. Normally what I do is make progression reads. I didn't do a very good job there though. I'm actually just going to try to do something sticky and try to blitz everyone. So that's a really unfortunate for us. We would have really liked to score a touchdown there. So again, I didn't do one of the key things you're supposed to do in order to win games, which is score at half. So now I'm a little nervous. Not nervous, but just like, dang, I should have been able to score there. But another thing you got to think about is keeping your head in the game. Definitely not going on tilt. And that is something I've struggled with before. Obviously, when I'm recording these videos and stuff, I don't really try to go on tilt because I'm making content for you guys. But when I'm just like playing by myself, when no one's watching, that's kind of when I go on tilt a lot. And that's something what I've personally have been working on, is just trying to avoid tilt, because once you go on tilt, it's really hard to play this game. So that was a super unfortunate animation for us. I mean, you rarely see that animation. Dang, that's kind of sucks for us. But we got to play through it. We're going to still try to win this game. And just like that, I have to move on to the next play. Like, I could complain about the game, but that really doesn't serve us. So we just kind of have to play through it because that's our only option here. There's not much I can do else. So we just got to try to get a stop. I'm going to have to play pretty aggressive now on defense. We're going to shade down here. Yeah, just going to have to play super aggressive, try to get some stops. I'm going to put a hard flat on this running back side. Good play by him. So, I mean, pretty unfortunate animation for us at the end of the day. Like, you have to understand that stuff could happen to you. And you just got to kind of do your best to avoid it. And you just got to play through it. Like, I still could technically just get a stop here and win this game, but I just got to play good defense here, so let's try to do that. I'm not sure what he could be going for here. I'm just going to man up his running back and hard flat it. I'm also going to man up solo side, something like this. That's good defense by us. Doubles flex. Typically what he's been doing here is just throwing crossers out and running back streak. So again, I'm just going to man up his running back. I'm going to put a middle third here and a deep third out here. Just making a good tackle. If he goes for this, we're going to be happy about that. He definitely shouldn't though. This is good for us. This allows us to potentially get a stop here. I'm trying to think about what he could possibly do. I think I'm just going to go cover 2, shaded down. Contain. Good play by him. I think that was just a streak. Let me see. Yeah, he ended up just throwing a streak out there. That's actually a pretty good play by him. Not the best defense. I mean, cover 2 shaded down. It was good defense for all the other routes, but I wasn't really looking for a streak there. I was honestly looking for like a tight end drag with a running back Texas route behind it. So, I mean, kind of unfortunate. We definitely... You could blame the animation there, the one that got the interception against us, but at the same time, what I'm more upset about, I guess, if I was to be upset about anything, was just not scoring before half, because that kind of was a huge detriment. So now instead of us being down just 1 score with that happening, now we're down 2 scores. So it's going to make the game a lot harder for us. But in situations like this, you just can't freak out. You still just got to play your game. You definitely can't win the play in one game as well. So we're not going to be trying just to take the top off and then just like trying to force anything. We're just going to take what the defense gives us. We also got to hurry up. We're just trying to score as fast as possible here and then kind of go from there. So he's really just going cover 4. He might be doing some adjustments I'm not really catching, but the basis for his entire defense is cover 4. It doesn't really matter about getting out of bounds. It doesn't stop the clock in this instance. I think normally it does though. So just taking what he gives us, like I said, we're definitely not trying to win the game on one play. We know we're going to have to score 2 touchdowns and get a stop. So knowing that in our heads, we're just trying to score efficiently, but also not force anything we don't have to. And then just try to get an easy touchdown here if we can. So here we think he's probably going to go try and play the RPO. I'm going to try running the spacing play. I never run this stock. Able to get the first down there. That's good for us. We're going to go to this motion play. I really like the halfback streak here, but I feel like he might know that. So we might have to make some different reads. Again, we basically just have to really hurry up. Don't have too much time. I'm going to try to get a glitchy RPO here. Not able to get into the end zone, which kind of sucks, but Good defense by him. So this is a weird spot. I'm down 11. If I don't score here, I lose the game. If I take 3, I still give ourselves a chance. I just got to kind of hold them out of field goal range. I think I'm just going to try and score here. You could go either way with this. I could see this going either way, to be honest. Let's see if we can dial something up. And he just got bumped. That's unfortunate for us. I did not think he was going to get a bump with his user there. I tend to rush reads too when I'm in the red zone like that, but at least now we have him on first. He could end up doing something silly here. We're just going to have to try to force him to do something bad. He definitely just threw at my user too. That's unfortunate. I thought I switch sticked him and got that pick there with DeJean. I actually don't know how I didn't get that, but it is what it is. I don't think he played better than us at all this game. I just think a couple of things we could have cleaned up, but sometimes that's how these games goes, boys, and you just kind of have to live with that. I mean, obviously I needed to score there at the end of half, and then obviously in this possession right before this, but sometimes those things happen, and instead of just dwelling on it and letting it ruin your session, you kind of just have to take this on the chin and just know, like, okay, well, there's a lot of things I could have done better this game. Let's try to improve on that next game, and then we'll work on those things. So he's catching some really crazy passes. Not sure how he's catching these. But, I mean, sometimes the animations just go in their favor, boys. They really do. Good play by him. That's going to be the end of the game. So GG's to him. Unfortunate we weren't able to get that one, but at least you guys kind of know like why we lost that. It's because we didn't score at the end of half. We also didn't score in the red zone, and we turned the ball over. So if you do all of those things, you're not going to win games. And that's just something I'm working on. So as you can see, I still definitely lose games, but hopefully we can clean that up next game and then end this video on a win. So let's go ahead and try that. So this guy's made top 100 both in season 1 and season 2. So this dude's also really good at the game. So this should be a fun game as well. Another thing you have to do is honestly just forget about the last game. Like, you just have to understand Madden. It's Madden. Things like that are going to happen. And then you just kind of have to go out in the next game fresh and ready to play your game. So first drive of the game, we're just trying to figure out how he likes to play. Again, make him work for every possession, every yard if we can. Don't give up anything big over the top, and then kind of go from there. So far it looks like he's only thrown underneath passes. Just fine by us. We're actually going to switch to cover 3 cloud here, though. We're going to make sure to hard flat his running back side. And that was a good switch defense by us. Now it's 4th and 3. Typically what I like to do here is try to make my opponent guess. Just because it's so early on in the game, he doesn't really have a lot of reps against me. So he doesn't really know what I like to run. So sometimes I'll whip out like a nice little double mug here. I'm just going to hard flat his running back side in case he throws that. I'm worried about the seam streak in the middle. All the underneath stuff I'm not too worried about though. I probably should have just double hard flatted there. So I wasn't really expecting him to look at anything short, just because when I'm in those situations, which sometimes I give people a little too much credit, and that's something I have to work on, is I probably shouldn't have had any clouds out there. I should have just had double hard flats, because he did the obvious thing, which was look for a short route, which I wasn't expecting him to do the obvious thing. Unfortunate animation for us, but what can you do? I probably could have clicked on it and just tackled him myself, so gotta work on that. That time I tried clicking on, but my guy was already in an animation. So he's really, really not looking up the field at all. I'm still not going to get too aggressive yet, but I'm just noticing that he's just not really looking up the field too much, and then just being ready to adjust from there. Wasn't really ready to play the run there, but ended up doing a decent job covering it. So again, boys, just trying to win this game, trying to learn how he likes to run offense. Noticing he just really likes to play the short game. He also could be setting me up for a future bomb, so that's something I'm also thinking about. Last time he ran this, he ran a zig route. I think he just ran double zigs. He ran a zig route on one side and then return on the other. So now I'm just noticing that. I-form, we're just playing the run here. So that's the end of the first quarter. He's honestly, I don't know, not really looking deep at all. Just throwing a lot of underneath stuff. So we're noticing that. We're going to try to adjust to that. And also just try to force him into a mistake. I've played defense against him now for an entire quarter. So now I'm okay trying to make some adjustments and try to cover what I think he might possibly throw, instead of just playing like back cover 4. So strong close. He's really just playing simple. So he's actually trying to milk the clock here. This is interesting. I probably should just be run committing here, even though I didn't. I probably should have. So he's trying to milk the clock for the first half, which I'm honestly not too concerned about, because when you do that, you play super conservative, even though he's already been playing conservative, which oftentimes just leads to dumb mistakes. We're actually going to save our timeouts here in this situation. We'll start burning them next set of downs. We're just going to hard flat everything, try to make him take something over the top. We're obviously looking at bunch side. He definitely just threw right at my zone. Unfortunate for us. We're just going to be ready to burn all of our timeouts now. We're still going to try to get a stop here. I'm just run committing. Good job there. I don't know who that was. Who's number 51? Dallas? Abdul? Good job there by Abdul Carter. So now we're thinking he's playing super conservative. He's played conservative throughout this whole drive. I could see him throwing out like double return routes here. I'm just going to get into cover 2. He could also maybe throw the RPO, so we're going to be ready to guard that as well. and we were there for it. I tried switch kicking that and then intercepting it. Didn't do a good job, so getting cheated a little bit, I guess you could say, but not too bad. I mean, it is what it is. So now he has a decision to make. He kind of put himself in a pickle here, and that's what I mean when people play super conservative, is that they don't try to score as much as they should, and then it puts them in positions like this. So I think he's just going to audible down from single back to goal line here because he doesn't have any receivers. He has 3 receivers. I'm honestly not sure what he's going to do here. I really doubt he's going to pass the ball, so we're just playing Ron 100%. And he ends up hitting the outside, so actually decent run by him. I wasn't expecting like a stretch run out of single back, so good play by him. But I don't know, he played that drive pretty conservatively, honestly kind of scared in my opinion. But as I said, boys, if you can end the half with the score and the ball and the game with the score and the ball, then you can win the game. So we're going to try to end the half with the score. We only have 1 timeout, so we're thinking about clock management. We're not going to return this just because we want to conserve as much time as possible at this point in time. The time is more important than those 15 yards for us. So he's going double mug here. He's showing a single high safety look. It's either going to be man or zone. And he also might be sending that blitz. So I'm just going to block running back first play. And he just ran straight cover 3. So that time he switched to man. I'm going to be sure to get out of bounds here because I do only have 1 timeout. Looks like he's just going to go double mug and try to switch between man and zone here. He's showing cover 3 again, but it also could be man. But I do think it might be just a natural cover 3, so. Good defense by him. I was looking for the tight end drag. It looked like he might have played that corner route. I definitely had the corner route wide open, so I just missed a read on that play. Good defense, though, by him. I almost threw that drag because he was engaged with the line. And sometimes when you're engaged with the line like that, it's really hard to get off the block, so. I'm still not trying to score too soon here. So I'm just trying to play smart, but at the same time, I only have 1 timeout. So if he does give me a touchdown, I probably will just take it. We'll see. Got out of bounds there. Good job by us. I think I'm going to try to hit him with this RPO play, and then I'm just going to no huddle after. Because I kind of need the time to tick down at least a little bit more than what it has. We're just going to go ahead and score. I mean, he does have all 3 timeouts. But at the same time, his offense is super, super conservative. So let's see if he's even capable of throwing anything over top is kind of what I'm thinking in my head. So again, if I was super, super threatened by his offense, I would have considered just falling there and trying to score. But it's also really hard to score in the red zone inside the 5. It's just really hard to pass, which I like doing is passing. He's going to return the ball here, which is good for us. We're just trying to waste as much time as possible. The goal here would be to try to keep him out of field goal range. Let's see if we can do that. He has to look for something over top. I'm just going to leave cover 4 stock match on. And just be ready to switch stick him. So there, he just throws an interception, which is huge for us. And that's what happens when we're trying to waste time here. That's what happens when you don't throw the ball a lot, is now he doesn't have a ton of reps against us, and he insta-quits the game. So he was just trying to play like kind of scumbaggy instead of really trying to play the chess match that Madden is. And then he ends up losing the game and quitting like that. So that's what happens there, boys. If you don't try to play the game, if you try to just chew the clock throughout the entire first half, you also don't get reps throwing against your opponent. So he had no idea what kind of defense I was in. And then he just ends up throwing a Stevie, an interception, pick six, and quits the game. And that dude was also a top 100 guy. So there's different levels to this for sure. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys where we're ranking right now in the top 100. Looks like right now we're sitting at number 16, which is pretty good. We're 192 and 37. So we have 37 losses, which feels like a ton for me. Honestly, my goal this season was try to stay within single digit losses. I obviously didn't do a good job about that, but it's hard because in Madden, like a lot of crazy things happen, animations happen. We got that crazy pop-up interception, and then we just weren't able to score in the red zone. So key takeaways from this video, if you guys take away anything, is take care of the ball. Always try to end the half with the ball and score. Always try to end the game with the ball and score. Keep your emotions in check. Don't lose your mind during the game, or try not to. I know easier said than done. Use that first drive on defense to figure out how your opponent likes to play and then adjust from there. And just have a strategy on offense, knowing what you're going to do against cover 3, cover 4, cover 0. Maybe even 6-1 with purples. You just need to have a plan for every defense. And if you don't, and if something bags you completely, simply hop into practice mode and try to figure it out. That way, if you run into it again, you're just not like, oh God, it's this defense, I don't know what to do. At least try to have a plan for everything you run into. So boys, I thank you so much for watching this video, man. If you could, consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out. If you guys want to watch me play these games live, we go live every single night on Twitch. I'm on Twitch at First and Law. So if you want to check me out there, please come and say hi, man. I'd love to chat with you guys and talk to you guys live. So I appreciate you guys checking this out, man. Until the next one, peace.